All right, so they sent me a really cool video yesterday on this W-9 and the importance of completing it. Those of us who are Moors and awake know the trickery that's been that the people are being subjected to. All right, so basically the W-9, I remember when I filled this out, I did it for the TD Bank agents that were claiming our estate, claiming we were persons. I notice here every time you go into an institution, they're really quick to classify you as a person. A person is a corporation. It's a dead entity. We're not persons. We're a living flesh and blood sentient being in our proper person, those of us who are awake and have claimed our status. So what they're talking about was the importance of filling out the W-9 on any corporate entity, any agent, any corporate entity that is purporting a so-called debt, claiming you owe them a debt via loans, mortgages, utilities, you name it. You're to complete this W-9. I did it for TD Bank. We did get a few notes back from the IRS when we did this, and we have done it subsequently since. So my recommendation is, because bottom line is they haven't given us a delegation of authority order, which they're supposed to have. They're also supposed to have an EIN number, which is an employment identification number, and I guess a TIN number, right? They haven't produced any of that. In essence, they're basically doing business unlawfully on the land because we are a republic. And as a republic, they're supposed to have certain things in play in order to do business with us, as it's a contract. Because we don't have proper contracts in play, they're utilizing those false things against us, in the sense that they had a sign in these names that they know have been copywritten, patented, and they're utilizing them in these all caps. So for instance, if your name is John Smith, right, and you sign John Smith on any loan, what you're supposed to do is sign by ... and hopefully if you've corrected your appellation, you would then write, you know, what your appellation is, something L, Bay, Day, or Alley. In essence, what they've done is, you notice a lot of these corporate entities have the name EL, or you'll see that a lot show up in their appellation or names. That's our appellation, that's our ancestral heritage. So because they've taken the names and they've turned them into these persons, these corporate statuses, under these all caps, all capital names as a corporate structure, they've securitized all these instruments. So they're selling them. So because everything is estate and trust already, it's supposed to have been prepaid and taken care of. Now they're forcing us to provide fiat Federal Reserve notes by threat, duress, and undue financial hardship, right? Knowing we don't have a printing press for that. So they're claiming that they're the divine and they're the gods that have invented money. We, the heirs, apparently are not allowed to have money because they took the lawful money, gold and silver, out of circulation. House Joint Resolution 192. Anyways, the W-9, the 1040, and the 1099 OID, which is the 1099 original issue discount you do on the loans, mortgages, and any of these purported utilities that are claiming monthly debts for air, energy, and crap that we have naturally. It's already been given to us by the Creator, by the energies that surround it. You cannot give us something that we already have from the beginning of creation. And we can't pay for something that we already have from the beginning of creation. We can't live without it. All right, so you're going to charge us for it. That doesn't make sense. And you can't charge people something that they don't have the ability to create, right? So you put them in uncalled for debt in a situation where it doesn't exist, and you can't pay a debt with a promise to pay Federal Reserve fiat, what they call money currency, Jamaican dollars, Canadian dollars, US dollars. Those notes are unsigned checks of promise to pay, backed by our trust and our estate. Anyways, do the W-9 form on all these corporate entities purporting a debt, any loans, and do the 1099 OID and the 1040, okay? When you sign the name by ... John Smith, all right reserves, by Angelina L., all rights reserved, by Empress, by Noble, whoever. All rights reserved. Okay? You put the corporate entity in here where it says business name, and then you check the appropriate box for the federal classification. Now, it says here trust estate partnership, S corporation, C corporation, and individual, right? Read it through, see what pertains to you. My voice is going. So, yeah, and this, they have to do this. They're supposed to provide all this information to us. Because we haven't filled out these taxes properly, that's what they're going on a lot of times when they're putting people in all kinds of aggravation. Those of us, I remember writing, if I can find some of it, I wrote a huge thing to a corporate entity to settle a matter they were purporting. And I was watching that thing about the Duke of the Trail of Tears. That never ended. That Trail of Tears story where they had gone into the people's houses and forced them to walk in the cold to Oklahoma or wherever it was for days and months on end, and the people dying and whatever else, it never ended. So all those people are being subjected to foreclosures, they have children, they have this and that, and don't have a clue what's going on. It's these bankers, these entities, these fraudsters purporting fictitious debts that don't actually exist. And so everything that was going on then is still going on today. And those of us who are awake are trying to wake up everybody else to stop it and to fix it. And those who have access to the trust are supposed to give us heirs access to our trust and our estate and stop friggin' around. Join, I'm getting mad. I'm going to come off of this thing now. Join, what? Subscribe, fill out these W-9s on these entities and get them to straighten up and recognize the Republic.